All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, and please ask questions where you're not clear. So we are continuing with yesterday's lesson. We started is it yesterday or last week's lesson where we started looking at simplification of complex numbers. So we have added this. So maybe you're given z is equals to 20 plus I to the power 3 times 7 to the power I. Simplify this. So what you're going to do here is just simple distribution. Same applies here. Then same thing that is here. But here what you're going to do is for you to get rid of the I at the bottom here, you multiply both on top and at the bottom by I. So for this case, so since I've worked out this problem, I'm going to give you another one. So you just say I times I, then even at the bottom, at the top, you multiply by I. So this I and that I will cancel out. Okay, so you say this times that, that times that. So everything on top by I and everything at the bottom by I. So this is I times that, which will give you 2I. I times 3I, that will give you negative 3, because we know that I squared is negative 1. Then I times I will give you negative 1. Then you simplify this as 2I over negative 1 minus 3 over negative 1. This is applying to both this and that. So this simplifies to, so this is negative 1. That simplifies to negative 2I. Then this plus 3. So now remember, we've been taught to write in the form z is equals to a plus ib, meaning that the real part should be alone and the imaginary part should be alone, and we should start with the real part. So meaning that this is equals to, starting with the real part, 3 minus I2. All right, so that is how we're simplifying this. Then for this one, we introduce what we call the conjugate. For you to simplify a case where you have a complex number on the denominator and the numerator, we introduce what we call a conjugate, and this conjugate will be the inverse of the denominator. So what you do is you multiply by the inverse of the denominator. How do you find the inverse of the denominator? You check the sign for the imaginary part. Okay, so you write the real part the way it is. So in this case, the real part is 1. Then the sign for the imaginary part changes to negative. If it's negative, it changes to positive. If it's positive, it changes to negative. So in this case, it's negative. So we say positive 2I. Then we don't want to change the question, so we multiply even on top, 1 plus 2I. Then now we distribute. So we distribute, we say this times everything here. We are going to get 1 times 1, 1. 1 times that, so plus 2I, plus 2I, then minus 4. Because I times I will be I squared. So I squared times 2 will be negative 4. So, but I want you to show the steps. Then this one at the bottom here will just be 1 plus 2. So this simplifies to, on top we have negative 3, then plus I4, then divide by 2. Then this simplifies to, we'll say negative 3 all over this number plus I, then we say 4 all over that number. That is how you can separate here. This all over all of this all over that. So this just simplifies to negative 3 over 2 plus I, then 2 can go into 4, that is 2. So you have written in the form A plus IB as required here. So now let me just add some questions. So here you just simplify. So now let me just change a few things on the questions here, because I've answered the questions for you so that you work them out. So these are the tools that you need. These tools are very important because they'll come in handy when working out most complex number problems. So what I'm just going to change here is maybe us to simplify I all over 2 plus I3. So again, you look at the denominator. The denominator, since it's a full complex number in the denominator, you will need to introduce the conjugate. Then maybe you have, let's say 7 minus I to the power 4. No, let me say I to the power 5. I to the power 5 times 2, then all over 2 minus 3i. Okay, so you're going to do these problems for me and submit, and I'm going to mark them for you. So if you haven't understood anything before you attempt the questions, you should ask so that I can answer. So before you attempt the question, ask the questions if you haven't understood anything. So yeah, let me add one more. I think D, that is E. Let me add one more E. E will say simplify z is equal to 3 plus 4i, and notice that the I can be written either in front or at the back, but it is recommended that you write it in front, but it can be written anywhere. Then all over 7i. Okay, so you're going to do these questions for me. If you haven't understood anything before you attempt the questions, please ask, then attempt the questions. Otherwise, that is it for tonight. Then from simplifying, we'll look at, I think let's go into conic section. Then later, we can go into De Morgan's theorem in the next lesson, or we'll look at conic section. I'll see how we can fare into that. So, but from here, I think we'll go into conic section. Then later on, we'll continue with the complex number systems. All right, so that is about it for tonight.